So the only way to successfully make a swing change is to force your swing to change. Whatever you want in the golf swing, you have to absolutely force it in there. Because I see so many golfers hitting balls on driving ranges and you would never guess that they're actually working on something. But they are. If you ask them, they'll say, I'm trying to think this into my golf swing. I'm trying to think how I'm going to get in a better position here halfway down in my downswing. And you look at them and they're still just like choppy over the top. They're never going to make that swing change. Whatever you're making, you have to force it in there, and you never see players do it. So we need to have and create a stimulus that's external that we're reacting to. So, or we're getting into a position in a golf swing, freezing it, and then hitting it from there. So getting in our desired position. So this is what I would rather you do, and that is this. An avoidance drill. So this is perfectly what we talk about forcing something into your golf swing. So let's say I'm that over the top slicer again, who's just trying to think their golf swing into position. And guess what? They're going to be trying to do the same thing 6 months from now, and their swing will look exactly the same if they don't do this. So that's where doing something like this here will force the club more on the inside if that's what the golfer wants to do. So if I swing, let's say 2-out twin over the top, I'm going to hit the stick. I have to avoid it. I have to force myself to swing differently just to not hit the stick. I have to swing way more on the inside. I have to do it, otherwise I'm going to hit it. So I'm forcing my swing. I'm creating an environment to where the change has to happen. So then that gets the body feeling what it wants to do, and then from there it's going to be able to get it into the subconscious faster. Especially when it comes to avoidance drills here. It creates a little bit of a fight or flight response in the subconscious, and that massively gets things into your swing faster. Working on something like this in whatever way you want, so we could do it in an opposite way, so in an avoidance drill manner, will be the best way to work on something. For myself, if I could work on something in my golf swing via an avoidance method, I would 100% do it, because it's going to really make the time of me getting something into my golf swing down by half. So let's say I'm someone who wants to rotate better through the golf ball, wants a more left exit hand path. I know so many of you out there are just trying to do that. You're just trying. You're not forcing it. This is a way to force it. Get that ball halfway underneath, have it a little bit down the target and obviously in front. Now what I've got to do, I've got to get those hands exiting left. If I don't, I'm going to hit the stick with my hands. So I'm forcing it to happen. So there we go, forcing the movement to happen. Creating environment, creating a little station for you to be able to move from. So this again with golfers who, let's say, have a little bit of a sway off the golf ball in the backswing. Maybe they are just a little bit uncentered, struggle with their low point control. Again, you'll be listening to them on what they're working on. They'll say, I'm just trying to think of keeping my head more centered. 6 months down the line, what they're still going to be doing? Coming off the golf ball. So that's where having something like an avoidance drill again, and it's just outside your head, you're forcing it to happen, because if you don't, you're going to hit your head on the stick. Got to force things. Got to create an environment to where you're getting the most out of your practice. Practice takes a lot of time. Practicing costs money. If you play, at a driving range where you don't use your own golf balls. So you could be spending and wasting money if you're not practicing the right way. And of course, when we go play golf, we want to be playing better. We want to get the things that we're working on into our golf swings to be a lower handicap or shoot better golf scores. So for me, practicing properly is an absolute no-brainer. You can spend way less time practicing, and you can get more results out of it if you work on with something like this. So when you're working on your golf swing, think, is there a way that I can force this to happen? And let's say, for example, there's not. Because sometimes you can't work on something with an avoidance drill. You could find a way to, let's say, do freezer drills. So let's say you're working on getting in a better position, shaft parallel to the ground. And you just can't work on avoidance drill to get you in that exact position. Maybe you want to have your knuckles slightly facing down to have a little bit more of a controllable club face, better turn. Hard to work on that with an avoidance drill, okay? So you could get into that position. Sharp parallel to the ground. Knuckles a little bit more down, club face looks under control, and you could repeat that a couple times to replicate it, create a little bit of dynamic nature, priming the body, getting the engine started, and then you could do a few pumps of those. 1, 2, 3, and there you go. You've kind of forced it to happen. You create an environment and you force that movement to happen. So important, which is why I'm doing so many videos at the moment, guys, about practice. Because one, it's winter time, Northern Hemisphere wise, that's what we've got to be doing this time of year. Here in the UK, there's an 8-hour window of daylight. You can't really get, too much golfing when everything's really busy. You know, of course, everyone's trying to get rounds in at the exact same time. But let's say, even if you're somewhere where you can play golf year round, it doesn't get dark at 3 p.m. You could go and still work on this, get some good improvement into your golf swing, even if you're playing all the golf you want. But we really want to optimize our practice, something that no one does. I'm way more of the opinion as the years go by that people just don't practice right, even if they have the right things they're doing. Got to practice right. You can make things, even if they're not necessarily 100% right for your golf swing, work for you if you get enough practicing properly. So that's where it's all about how you do it, sometimes not what you do. But of course, both are the right things together, having the right thing to do and practicing it properly, that's where you can make crazy, crazy big improvements. So if you enjoyed this video, click that like button if you want more golf instruction, just like this. Hit the subscribe button, hit the bell button too to be notified every time I put out a video. So force your swing to change. That's the only way you're going to actually make your swing change.